to the bottom of the fourth, all tied at 6. And Steve, the happiness has grown to uneasiness in this ballpark now.
Well, you have to feel like Lancaster, after being down 5-0 in this ball game, has really come back and seized the momentum. You know, momentum is a word that's maybe used a little too much in athletics, but I tell you what, anyone who's watched this ball game tonight has to feel like the wave of momentum has just gone over to the Lancaster side of the field here.
2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Raiders: Ray, Reed, and Cunningham. And the Raiders now have to get something shaking and get some more runs on the board. They've frittered away a 6-run lead. It's 6-6. Steve Hegler, the pitcher for Lancaster. And we're ready. The pitch misses, 1-0. Bottom half of inning number 4, as this game is nearly 2 hours old. Heard a couple of newspaper guys for tomorrow morning talking about 10 o'clock deadlines. Don't think they're going to make it. That one misses outside, 2-0.
Now, I can tell you about newspaper deadlines. The fortunate thing is I've got until 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
2-0. Here's the count to Johnny Ray. Called strike right down the middle, 2-1. Two and one the count. Hegler to the wind, the delivery. Oh, strike on the outside and high. And Ed Prescott down the line arguing with the umpire, and I don't blame him. I can't see that one. Obviously, he couldn't either. 2-2 the count. The wind, the delivery, swing and a miss. Down on strikes he goes. And we have one away.
Well, after allowing a leadoff walk in the second inning when he did come into the ball game, Hegler has now retired 5 batters in a row, including 4 consecutive strikeouts.
One away, and Jerome Reed at the plate. Well, Jerome has the ball in his hand on the mound now to try and bring this one home for the Raiders. Is it too much to ask for him to help us with the bat as well? Tied at 6 here in the bottom of the fourth. Delivery to Hegler inside, 1-0. Hegler checks, gets the sign, winds, throws, swing and a miss, 1-1. Hegler has done a heck of a job. One and one the count. Here's the pitch inside, 2-1. Well, they're not letting it get up and away on Jerome again. He took him downtown Monday night on an up and away pitch.
If you look around the infield after he burned them with a triple back in the second inning, all of the outfielders are respecting his power a little bit more.
2-1 count. Hegler to the wind, the pitch, called, strike 2. Two and two the count. Jerome settles back in. Hegler ready to go. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout, 5 in a row. And we have 2 away. That'll bring up Chuck Cunningham.
And this is a trend, if you coach Ed Prescott, you don't want to see start developing. The Raiders starting to chase those curveballs a little bit more. a pattern they fell into Monday night, and it resulted in 19 strikeouts. He wants to see Raiders start making contact here. Good place to start with Chuck Cunningham, a left-handed batter, against the right-handed Steve Hegler.
Raiders needing to get something shaken. 6 runs in the first 2 innings, and they've seen the bats go silent since. That one's high and away, 1-0 to Chuck Cunningham. Hegler checking, gets the sign from Reed. 1-0 pitch, strike on the outside corner. That is, I don't know about that one. Must be a little lip on that plate we can't see. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hegler set to go now. Cunningham calls timeout. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down. We're in the bottom of the 4th, all tied at 6. Raiders once led it 6-0. The delivery. Strike called on the outside corner, 1-2. One and 2 the count. Here's the delivery from Hegler inside, 2-2. If Lancaster wins it, it's all over. They're the state champions. If the Raiders win it, it's on to Friday night for a 3rd and deciding game in this best-of-3 series. 2-2 delivery to Chuck. Lined hard into right field, base hit. And Mike Douglas will come to the plate. Raiders trying to get something shaking here with 2 outs.
And throughout the playoffs, the Raiders have been a very good hitting team with 2 outs. So Mike Douglas, respectable power. We're going to see if he's going to swing for the fences here.
6-6 our score. Bottom of the 4th, 2 down, and Chuck Cunningham down at first. And with Grant inserted in the lineup, Cunningham's going to have to run for himself. Douglas steps in there. Cunningham getting a little lead down there at first base. Well, it's not a little lead. It's a pretty nice lead. That one inside on the shoulder of Mike Douglas. 1-0 the count. Another count. Throw over to first, not in time. I don't know if you noticed, Greenville News listed the crowd at Lancaster the other night as 2,000. If they had 2,000 down there, what is this one, 4?
Well, if they had 2,000 there, this is Fulton County Stadium. Well, I better take that back. There would be 2,000.
1-0 count. Douglas calls timeout.
We were talking with the folks up in the booth at Lancaster Monday night, and they said they had only had about 800 or 900 for the lower state championship game. So I don't know if they could fit 2,000 people around that ballpark.
Ball high. Mike has to duck out of the way of that one, 2-0. Let me clearly say I'm not talking about the Pop Jubilee here, but I heard a story up in Greenville about a festival somewhere else, and they said they used to get their crowd estimates. They'd ask the police chief how many people he thought was there. He'd say, oh, about 1,000. And they'd ask the fire chief. He'd say, oh, about 1,000. They'd ask the civil defense director how many were there. Oh, about 1,000. They'd say 3,000 people attended our. According to the fire chief, the police chief. Swing and a miss on an outside pitch. 2-1. Throw down to first. Not in time, but awfully close. 2-1 the count. On Mike Douglas with Chuck Cunningham at first and 2 down here. We're in the bottom half of the 4th in a 6-6 tie. Back to the ball game. Hegler checking Cunningham over at first. Here's the 2-1. Mike hit it hard, but right at the third baseman. He bobbled it, and they didn't get him. The ball popped loose down at first. I had to wait for a moment, but the ball popped loose from Richie Ballard, and we've got runners at first and second with 2 down. And Reed Edwards up. 2 on with 2 out. How'd you score that one?
I gave Truesdale the error on that. He made a good play just stopping the ball down there, but the throw was a little bit low.
You're tough.
Well, you know, it's a play the third baseman down there, Truesdale, should have made. He's got a very good arm, but he didn't give Ballard much of a chance on the throw.
Reed Edwards, the batter. 2 on, 2 out. 6-6 ball game. Inside, ball gets away, and they're going to move him up 90 feet, and now a wild pitch gives Lawrence the lead back. Hegler got that one a little out of control. How'd you score that?
Well, that's a wild pitch all the way. Hegler, a little wild on his control, too. That's his second wild pitch of the ball game. Wild pitches hurt the Raiders in the top of the 4th inning. We're going to see if it helps him here in the bottom of the 4th.
Reed Edwards is at the plate with a 1-0 count. Runners at second and third, 2 down. All this has happened with 2 outs. Hegler gets the sign from Reed. A 1-0 delivery. Ground ball, foul down the third base line. Tell you what, that one a couple of feet more over, Truesdale wouldn't have gotten to it, and it'd have been trouble down that line.
Ed Prescott did a good job down there to get out of the way of the ball. He did a little tap dancing.
1-1 the count to Reed Edwards with those runners at second and third. Again, a wild pitch or a miscue here by Lancaster, and the Raiders would have the lead back. They once led at 6-0. We're tied at 6-6. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Hegler looks back at second. Here's the pitch. It's back to the screen. And they'll score the run. No way Reed could get back to it. And Cunningham comes down the line, and the Raiders lead it again at 7-6. Well, Steve, he appeared to be cruising there for a while, and things have started to unravel on Hegler.
Well, 5 consecutive strikeouts for Hegler, going to 2 outs into this inning. As we mentioned earlier, the Raiders are a very good team with 2 outs. They have been aided by a little bit of shoddy defense and pitching here by Lancaster. A couple of wild pitches, and that's 3 wild pitches now for Hegler in the ball game, and that's really cost him.
Again, shocking that coming into this series, these 2 teams, which have just been so solid all year, have made a lot of mistakes, and that's been the difference so far. That one misses inside to Edwards. 3-1 now the count. With Dougie down at third. And the Raiders up 7-6. As Chuck Cunningham just scored on a wild pitch. And time is called as Al Berry, the Lancaster coach, will head to the mound, and he wants a conversation with Hegler. I think you tell the kid right here, take the walk if you have to, but don't let it get away from the catcher this time.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Reed Edwards, a left-handed batter in there. The last left-handed batter he faced, Chuck Cunningham, lined a solid single out into right field. Reed Edwards also a very good hitter, and he doesn't want to make a mistake right here. They feel like they're in a situation right now where they can put Reed Edwards on first base and still have the force play. So not a bad situation. We're going to have to see what they think. Count of 3-1. If Reed gets anything here to hit, though, you can bet he's going to be swinging if it's in the wheelhouse.
Paid attendance tonight. 1583. Great crowd. Here's the wind, the pitch to Reed. Called strike. He dropped the bat in the box there, and the count is 3-2. Lawrence 7, Lancaster 6, bottom of the 4th. If the Raiders win, it's on to Friday night for the 3rd and deciding game. If Lancaster wins, they are the state champions. Full count, 2 out. Dougie taking a move down the line there. Here's the pitch. Reed hits it right back at the box. Throw over to first in time, and the side is retired. But the Raiders do the damage. They get the run they need. And after 4 complete, it is now Lawrence 7, Lancaster 6. We'll be back in 60 seconds.